Civil society groups have been at the forefront of promoting democratization in Nigeria and have always played an important role as pressure groups in the country's political history. Despite all these, critics still question the relevance and existence of civil society groups. While civil society organizations have always dealt with several challenges, a new external threat has come to the fore. This external threat is the repression of fundamental freedoms by the government, which has led to a closing civic space and has such necessitated the need to document key milestones and interventions by Nigerian civic groups. Now let's take a look at some of the milestones and successful interventions by civil society groups over the years. The fight against military dictatorship leading to the return of civilian rule. Civil society groups like the Civil Liberties Organization, founded by Clement Nwankwo and Olisa Agbakoba, alongside other groups like the Committee for Defense of Human Rights, led by Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti, the Campaign for Democracy, led by Alao Aka Bashirun and Dr. Ransom Kuti and many others, formed campaigns against military rule and human rights abuses. These groups were at the forefront of pro-democracy protests, resulting in the restoration of civilian rule in 1999. The closure of Toko Island Prison in 1989. Civil society action by Civil Liberties Organization, in conjunction with other activists, exposed the existence of an island prison located in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Lagos. This was called the Toko Island Prison. It was initially set up under General Olusegun Obasanjo's military government in the 1970s as a farm settlement, but was reportedly active as a detention center under the subsequent military rule of General Muhammadu Buhari. It never existed in official records as a secret prison. The fight for economic right and social welfare. Pro-democracy groups and student union movements strongly resisted the Structural Adjustment Program, an economic austerity measure which was introduced in Nigeria in the late 80s as a response to the country's economic crisis and condition for securing World Bank and International Monetary Fund loans. The ensuing economic hardship on citizens prompted strong public backlash from civil society. Anti-SAP protests began in the late 80s and continued up until the early 90s, leading to the arrest and killing of many protesters by security forces, which included several university students who were at the forefront of the protests. The anti-SAP riots and strikes were widespread in major cities across the country, and it forced the government to offer a welfare program called a SAP Relief Package, the establishment of a mass transit scheme, a People's Bank, and a review of the minimum wage. The fight for minority rights and environmental justice. Civil society have always fought for the enforcement of environmental rights. It was a trailblazing effort of groups like the Movement for the Survival of the Ogoni People, MOSOP, led by the late Ken Saro-Wiwa, that exposed the world to human rights violations and environmental degradation in the Niger Delta region, particularly during General Sani Abacha's regime. Unfortunately, Saro-Wiwa and 8 other activists were summarily persecuted by a military tribunal and executed by the same regime despite international appeals for leniency. This triggered national and international outrage and led to the increased spotlight on the operations of human rights practices of major oil companies. Today, several civil society organizations have brought environmental issues to the fore and also contributed to the development of legal jurisprudence on environmental law and protection via litigation against the government and oil companies.